Welcome to the WMMA Today podcast with Drake Riggs and I, Steve King. As Drake tweeted out just now, it's kind of a reunion. I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. Might not stick through the whole thing. I don't know. But here we are, episode 67. We got Contender Series to recap, and then mailbag. There's some news, and then a couple previews to go, and then of course the Phantom Punch breakdown, of course, and then you guys in the chat room. I missed you. Yes,
we missed you,
James. Hello to the greatest WMMA show. Period. Rue, welcome. Jimmy, the best podcast show for anything WMMA related is Wednesday the new day for this pod.
No.
No, it isn't. Things happen.
Yeah. This felt like a long break, though, between weeks. I'll tell you that much. Maybe it's because I've been doing a bunch of other shows, but yeah. Monday next week is the plan. Back to the regular schedule because next week is 266. So I will be in Vegas. So got to get that Monday back on track.
Rain says the best show for picks, analysis, and fight breakdowns, except for last week for WMMA. Calling you out, Ghost. Woo!
Oh, jeez.
Starting fire, Rain. Jin says hi. Mr. Lee, thank you. It's good to be back. Joseph, well, I heard you were rating your car about Rose versus James.
Fake news. That's fake news.
I am definitely ranting. I'm ranting. I've been ranting this whole time. I'm steaming. You can see the flames coming off of me. I'm so pissed right now. Good to see you back as well, Jimmy. I mean, good to see you too. I'm back. Yes. All right, Drake, let's fucking go before I start rambling.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this. Yep. So, all right. Before we get into things, guys, of course, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I know most of you guys surely have, but don't forget to hit that like button because it is very helpful. It gets us out there even more than we've already begun growing as we rapidly approach episode 70, episode 80, 90, the big 100, Steve, which we got to do something real special for something big. It's got to be the big in-person show. Something. We'll figure it out. But either way, smash that like button, do all the good stuff.
We got to figure out how many weeks that is and all that, and then figure out what's going down.
Yeah, it's about 40. We'll have to look at the calendar. Or 30, I guess, closer to 30. Math. But anyway, Steve, we have something to recap since we didn't go on Monday this week. The Contender Series was last night. One fight, one contract. So this is partly news, partly recap, but there we are.
Yeah. Jasmine Jasudavicius beat Julia Polstari by decision. It was a decent fight. I thought it was an okay fight. What do you think, Drake?
Yeah, no, I thought this was a fine fight indeed. I mean, first round was complete lopsided domination, 10-8 across the board, as you can see there on the scores for Jasmine. And then after that, Julia kind of came back a little bit and obviously won, I believe, unanimously. The third round was the one that everyone could agree on. But I think Jasmine kind of slowed down a little bit just from pouring it on in the first round. And maybe could have got the finish there if she had a little bit more time. But hey, you don't have more time, so it is what it is. But she was able to compete well enough on the feet still, despite the second win Julia had in surviving. They both looked pretty solid, but I will say I still don't know if it was a good enough performance for a contract. And Dana's just Oprah-ing it, dude. He's Oprah-ing it since the last season, man.
Yeah, like what do you? But I mean, we know what he's doing. We know what he's doing with these contracts, right? We know why he's giving these Contender Series winners and a loser contracts. It's straight fucking fuckery from the UFC and Dana White. Man, like I enjoy the Contender Series. Obviously, I enjoy the fights. It's great for the fighters. It's wonderful for the fighters. But if you're gonna give out contracts to people, just give out contracts to people. Why make them fight?
Yeah, it's kind of it's diminished. It diminishes the point of the show kind of when everybody gets a contract, right? Like you win, you're in. Well,
exactly.
Could have been less, right?
It shouldn't be if you win, you're in. It shouldn't be that way. Like not everybody deserves a contract, but they're doing it because they want to go cheap. That's why. They want to bring in fighters who are hungry and still don't have a big pocketbook, a lot of money in the bank. So they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight whenever something comes to them. They're gonna take short notice fights, which we've seen from a lot of Contender Series winners. I enjoy the Contender Series. We both do. We've enjoyed it from the very beginning. But I mean, come on, dude. You got it. It's getting watered down a little bit now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. But as long as people, I mean, I was gonna say as long as they keep tuning in, I guess it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter anyway, you know. Like I don't know. It's a very
I think if it was
thing.
just you and I watching, they would still give out all the contracts.
Yeah, because like you said,
I don't think it would change anything.
It's that kind of behind the scenes workings that are kind of going on here. But just as for Jasmine in particular, this isn't like the maddest I've been about a contract being handed out. I mean, that probably goes to Danielle Wolf hands down. But in this case, Jazz Davicius, you know, she was somebody I mentioned at the start of the year when we were talking about prospects to watch and everything. So I think she was eventually gonna make it to the UFC, and now's the time. I mean, I think she'll, you know, end up doing all right. She's a fine addition to the roster, but I don't know just if this was the proper performance in this format and all that. But also one thing I wanted to mention, Steve, was what is going on lately with everybody making these GSP comparisons. Like they said GSP, there was that, you know, they made a comparison. I think it was Bisping to Jasmine. And then there was who was it? Jack Shore a couple weeks ago. They're like, yeah, guys like GSP. Yeah. I'm like, no, Bisping. There's only one fucking GSP, Bisping. Knock it off. And then he did it again here. So I was like,
yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I think you and I are on the same page of GSP being probably the greatest fighter ever. You can't, just because she's from Canada doesn't mean shit. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter where somebody's from. Jack Shore is Welsh. It doesn't matter. He's not GSP. Nobody is GSP. There will never be a GSP again. Just like there won't be a Demetrius Johnson again. There won't be a Randy Couture again. There won't be a Chuck Liddell again, really. You know, I mean, there's certain fighters that have that mystique about them where you just can't remake it.
Right.
This isn't fucking Star Wars where you can put somebody in a block of ice for God knows how long and then you can bring them back.
Well said. Great comparison. But it's just it's some serious hyping going on recently. I mean, I guess specifically from Bisping because he's done it twice now, which I don't know if this is just a jab at GSP or something, but I'm noticing it and it's funny. So good to see you, Centro. How's it going? Joseph says we are less than 10 days away from the funeral of Lauren Murphy. We'll get to that next week. Jimmy says, I watched this and I wasn't too impressed with Jasmine. I mean, the first round was fantastic, but
just I said a 10-8.
Yeah, the last two rounds just showed, you know, she still has some stuff to work on, and you know, maybe a little bit worrisome.
Like, I think if I was on last week with you, I think we would have said that, right? Like, I don't know what you said because I didn't watch either. I
I didn't
apologize.
preview it. I didn't realize it was this week.
Oh, okay. I think I would have said I don't think that she's that great of a fighter. I don't know. Like I don't get like that killer instinct, from her. She's a decent fighter, but I don't know what she's going to do in the UFC against real UFC talent.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I've always thought that she'll make it to the UFC eventually, just a matter of when. And we'll find out if this was too soon. I feel like, could be after that performance and, the continually deepening flyweight division that we have here. So I'm curious to see who will be her debut, but I can't imagine they give her anybody too crazy high up there, but is what it is. Congrats to her. She
Congratulations. I mean, congratulations to anybody who gets a contract to the UFC. That's literally why they fight. They fight to get to the UFC at this point.
Yeah, and seems like a great person. I've never spoke to her, but I know a lot of people have, and so it should be interesting. Always good to see more Canadians, making waves. So
yeah, that's another thing. She probably got the contract because she's Canadian.
You wouldn't surprise me. But,
no, honestly, I mean, they're trying to. She's Canadian and cheap. So.
Ouch. No, I know what you mean, but it sounds funny. James agrees with Jimmy, was not too impressed by Jasmine.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he says another Cheyenne Bay situation.
He's asking. He said, "Is this another Cheyenne Bay?"
Oh, I thought he said this is to be determined.
I think
right?
Bay is probably the better fighter out of the two. Like to be honest, I know y'all don't like Cheyenne Bays that much, but I think she's probably the better fighter out of the two.
I don't know about that one, but we'll wait and see.
We'll have to see. Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see, man. What happens? We saw what Bays can do.
And Rue throwing in the obligatory cut base. Where's Alvin to put you in your place, Rue? So that was the only fight from yesterday, not even the weekend, you guys. So as we get back on track, plenty of action coming up here for the previews today. And as we roll on forward, I should have mentioned this, but this week's Phantom Punch Breakdown is once again going to be at the end of the show because it may or may not kind of intertwine with one of the fights that we'll be seeing. And if you've been paying attention, you know who the person is because we've given out spoilers. But either way, Steve, we're supposed to go to the mailbag next, but I didn't see any mail in the mailbag this week. Did you see anything?
I did not. And also, I sent out the tweet like fucking 2 hours ago. So
I did one on Monday as well. So
I saw that today. I literally retweeted it right before I was sending it out. Like I'm so fucking behind and fucked. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you know what? I think that we should just blame Yusuf because he's generally on top of the mailbag, but he's leaving us hanging here, even though it's been partly our fault. Still,
has he been around?
No, I haven't. I didn't see him the last 2 weeks, so he's been missing along with you. So,
well,
is what it is. But Rain says he has a question. Well, drop it on down for us, man. Before we get to the news, what is it?
What is it, Rain?
Joseph has a question, which we did talk about a brief bit before going on the air. So, Steve, he's asking, did we catch the Pena interview with Ariel? The more she talks, I want Nunes to do a Holloway cater. So, Steve, I told you that I didn't get to see all of this. And what I did see, I erased from my memory very quickly. So this is pretty much a question for you. Tell us your thoughts.
Okay, so Rain, you're making me laugh with your comments. So Julian and Pena, as I was talking to Drake about, she's got a fucking mouth on her, right? Like we all know she has a mouth on her. She shoots shit out of her mouth like we shoot shit out of our ass. There's no difference. She just is a mouthpiece at this point. I don't care what she has to say anymore. It doesn't matter. Now she's talking about Amanda Nunes possibly being on something, and oh man, she's
Complete
missing. She's
accusations, unbased
she's
accusations.
missing. She's missing the fights, and she's calling them off. She's basically saying that Nunes is on the shit. It's a fucking joke, dude. Like it's getting to be too much. I just want to see the fight now. I think
Get it over with.
done. I'm done with the bullshit from her, and I just want to see the fight.
Jen says, Steve, you cared before what Penny had to say?
No, I literally have never cared. But I've talked about her on here many times, as much as I can, saying that she's does just everything that comes out of her mouth is bullshit. It's garbage.
Can't argue with that. And that's why I try not to listen too much anymore. So
right.
Either way, Joseph, though, follows up and says, I think this is the most personal fight that Nunes has ever had. They will not touch gloves. I disagree, I think, Steve, because this is very one-sided, right? This is all Pena, as you pretty much just said. I think
Nunes isn't saying shit. She's literally crickets right now. Not probably not even giving a fuck what
I'm
Nunes
sure.
says. She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
She knows she's a bad bitch.
I think if we were to say the most personal fight for Nunes was probably Valentina. I mean, look at the fight. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just because there was so much talk about if there were two more rounds in that first one, which at the time I was fully thought that Valentina 2 more rounds 100% would have beat her, and I mean that's how it looked. That seemed like a very safe thing, but she proved us wrong. Depending on how you feel about it, yeah. So, but yeah, I think that was definitely the most personal one. I mean, unless I'm forgetting one, but I think it's that one.
I mean, even when she fought Cyborg, they were fine. Ronda Rousey, they were fine, and Ronda has a mouth on her.
Well, that's because Ronda, was still hidden, there, but
scared.
All right, so Rain, I know you are very passionate about this right here, so let's get it out of the way. Finally, I saw you in the SCMP chat as well. I saw you in there. I didn't say anything though because I don't host that show. That's all Nicky Boy, and he had no idea what you're talking about. So let's get this out of the way. He asks, what did you guys think of Ghost overstretching Leah McCord's skills? And I will say right now, Rain, that you are just wrong, simply wrong about Ghost overstretching Leah's skills. And the reason why, says Steve Laps, is because Ghost showed us literally in the video that she does have some skills there in the area he was highlighting.
I know.
Yeah. Doesn't mean she's amazing, but there is something there. And he even admitted that at the end of it. So it's not like he's trying to say she's better than she is, but to show that there's something there that can be built off of, especially for the skill set that she has, which is not primarily a striker. So we have literal assessments of this. I don't think it's an overstretch. I understand that, it might be easy to think that because she's not a striker, but if you watch it, he showed us there's something there. That's the whole point of the Phantom Punch breakdown. But so that's how I feel about it. Steve, I don't know if you watched that one.
Rain is not into it, obviously. Like, clearly, Rain is not feeling it at all.
Yeah, is what it is. But Ghost is a genius, so I'm not going to deny him no matter what. But that's how I feel, though, honestly. But I hope that is good enough for you, Rain, as we get ready.
It's not going to be.
No.
He has his opinion.
Yeah, no, and there's nothing wrong with that, but
here
we are.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Joseph says Amanda had her 50 jacket by USADA. She is a clean fighter. Well, yes, there you go. So, Pena talks nonsense. We know this, Joseph. Here he is, Steve.
Outfit.
Not today. The throat's a little.
Sorry, Alvin.
Good evening, gentlemen. How did you guys enjoy the Contender
I
Series?
attempted it.
Yeah.
Welcome, Alvin.
Yes. So yeah, we just recapped that, Alvin. The one fight, and that was actually the only one I watched. I didn't watch the rest of the fights, but Steve, did you watch the whole show?
Contender?
Yeah.
I watched it this morning.
How was it? Alvin asking here. Did you enjoy it?
Did Alvin ask?
Yeah.
How did you guys enjoy the Contender Series? Oh, yeah, it was decent. Good fights. Good fights. There were good fights. Contracts given out.
Yep. Doesn't necessarily mean that these days, but I digress.
No,
Joseph
but there were good fights though.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
were. Yeah.
Joseph says he puts Nunes's daughter against Pena's daughter in the octagon.
Or what about
Sure.
his daughter against Pena herself?
That's what I thought he was saying at first, but yeah. So Ghost chiming in says I even showed the mechanical problems in Mccord's game. Exactly. So there is that.
I think we're done with that.
Yeah. Yep. Over and out. Alvin says always good to see so many earn new jobs. Atta boy, Mr. Positivity himself. You love to see it. He balances out all and any criticism that we could ever have. We love you, Alvin. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's get into the news now as we get rolling along. Kicking things off in the deck. Not very big news, but news you bet that I'm going to highlight because I'm on that Eru Takabayashi train as she's back already, taking on Erin Koga October 17th. Deep in Tokyo 2021. Steve is out of the loop. Dude, that's all right. I'm fully on that Takabayashi train. As I said, what was it, last week or the week before, whenever that was, and Steve was gone there to recap Deep Jewels 34. But awesome for her, man, to get the big deep stage, just like Park and Izawa. So really cool. I'm very high on her. I think that she is, I don't want to say light years ahead of, normal fighters where they are at 18 years old, but the fact that the fact that she's only 18 and looking as good as she is, as smart of a fighter as she is, it might be fair to say that. So I don't know anything about Erin Koga. This might be her debut. I was looking her up after seeing this, and I really couldn't find anything. So I have no idea about her, but Takabayashi is the truth. I think that she will be around for a good while if she continues to look as good as she is. So I'm very excited to see her back so soon because she fought, rather recently. And like I said, on Big Deep. So great exposure and spotlight for her, even though she started on that RIZIN show. What was it? That was the New Year's show. So yeah, gonna be fun. Always fun to see Takabayashi. Get on the train, you guys. I'm telling you. And you can watch her other fights on the Deep Jewels YouTube channel. So, bum. Joseph asking, Steve, did you catch Misa training for the October 16th fight? I'm hearing she will be more jacked. Woo!
I saw it. Yeah.
Is it possible?
I saw it. Dude, man, she looks good. Man, like, I'm excited for her to come back and fight again. Twice in 2021. It's a good year for her.
Yep, and getting back to the main event scene for sure. And Ghost says Takabayashi has great looks in her striking. Goddamn right, man. I think that if she's not light years ahead of where an 18-year-old would be, she's definitely ahead of it, though, because she's very sharp on the feet for that age and showed phenomenal fight IQ in her last fight and win. So, yeah, as I've said multiple times, I'm on that Takabayashi hype train. Choo.
There's a lot of young women that are coming up that are going to be phenomenal in the coming years.
Absolutely.
There's there's actually a lot of them.
Yep, I know. I feel like this year in particular, Deep Jewels has really highlighted it. The Japanese ones in particular. Yeah. So,
yeah.
And I think they'll.
We're always talking about the young Asian fighters that are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like once a month now, at least once a month.
Yeah, definitely. There you go. JD says if Ghost likes Eru, then she must be something special. I've been telling you guys, and now Ghost backs me up. There we go. And I mean, I feel like anybody who's seen her can see that there's something there. She isn't going to end up being, a bust necessarily. We can't say champion yet, but she's looking very, very good. So
yeah,
indeed. So as we move on, still some small news. I mean, really all of this is small news relative to, contenders and that kind of thing. But before we get there, Go says Takabashi's feints in foundational strike. It is great to see from a young gun. Yeah, I mean, started very early. So as we move on to the next order of business, Steve, this is an interesting one because of kind of the little saga that was around it. But here we are, another addition to the strawweight division.
Yeah, Maria Oliveira signed with the UFC, but prior to that, she signed with Invicta in March, and then she'll be taking on Tabitha Ricci October 23rd. So she pulled a fast one.
I'll switcheroo.
Yeah, or the UFC pulled a fast one. That is not going to make Invicta and Shannon Knapp happy.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
I don't think.
Very curious how this all unfolded because
Right.
Maria straight up signed with Invicta, intending to go back to atomweight. And, she is a Brazilian, but this fight is in Vegas. So it's not, I'm imagining that wasn't an issue, with Kansas City and all that kind of thing. I have no idea. I'm going to try and find out, I think. But yeah, Maria Oliveira, another very good prospect who still just 24 years old, 12-4. Most people will remember her from that RIZIN 2017 Atomweight Grand Prix, which was excellent stuff. When Kana Asakura went on to win the whole thing and get that upset over Reina and blast off to the moon with superstardom. And that was actually one of Maria's last 2 losses. And Steve, you remember who the other person she lost to? Marina Rodriguez. No shame in that one. Yeah, no one's going to fault you for that. And that was on Contender Series Brazil in 2018. That was actually the fight that got Marina in the UFC. So funny how that works. And since then, 2-fight winning streak against really actually lackluster competition on the Brazilian regional scene for Maria. Now gets into the UFC off of that, which it's fine. Again, plenty, some great experience for her at this young age still. And in a deep strawweight division. And Tabitha Ricci coming down from her silly flyweight debut against Montefiore, who, actually absolutely beat the brakes off her because she is not a flyweight. So that was one of those short notice, ridiculous up weight class situations, right, Steve? But here we are, Tabitha going back down, which is great. And then Maria getting in. I'm not mad at the fight at all. I think this should be a pretty fun matchup, but
I think it's a great matchup, to be honest. Like, Ricci's not a bad fighter at all either.
It was just terrible situation for her in her debut. The worst. Because she was undefeated before that. Well, she was not LFA champion, was she? Yeah, she was champion, I think.
I don't think she was champion, was she?
I don't know. She was in LFA, though, right? Let me see. I actually got it up here. No, not champion, but she was in the LFA. Yeah. So, yeah, Ricci is also very talented. Didn't get to show it in that debut, again, because bad situation. And this is a fight that you could have seen in LFA, but
it's true,
take it here.
Yeah, I mean, fan of both. Oliveira's a scrappy-ass fighter, man. Ricci's really good, too. I like this fight.
Yep, and not too far away, just next month. But,
yeah, it's nice to see a fight coming up, not fucking in December or whatever.
Yeah, no doubt. James says, is it good that they keep signing strawweights when even the bottom half of the rankings are deep waters? What do you think, Steve?
I think that they're probably just signing fighters because they're cheap.
Deepen out the waters, keep adding more. I mean, I get what you're saying, James, but I think that it will kind of turn into that. I don't know what's the phrase. I can't think of the phrase right now, but kind of the talent elevating everybody. Maybe faster than they would normally because they have to be. You know what I mean?
They're probably just trying to bank on a star or two trying to come in, with all these signings.
Yeah. Yeah. Very well could be, because I mean, strawweight, does not need to continually keep getting all these additions, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt, filling it out as much as you can.
It doesn't hurt at all. I mean, I don't think the UFC gives a damn, to be honest, about how deep, how many fighters they have. It's just they want them for cheap at this point, cheaper at this point. I don't understand what the UFC is doing, but
yeah, great point. Stamina's here, London in this mofo. What it do, Scrap Packers? Hope everyone is of good health and good cheer today. Well, Steve is getting back to it, but great to see you, pal, and have the whole crew here now. Joseph sticking with the bantamweight talk. I think we will see the Nunes that fought Pennington on December 11th. Blood will be on Pena, and she will regret calling out the GOAT. Would not be surprised if that Nunes comes out. I mean, that's pretty much Nunes every fight, right? I mean, I don't know why you highlight that one. She beats up everyone that way. So,
because that was a bloody bloodbath.
Yeah, that was not great.
Yeah.
Alvin likes this fight, though. This is great. What an opportunity for two young prospects to showcase their talents. Goddamn right, pal. Rue says, how good is Ricci? I thought she was an atomweight. She definitely could be, because she is 5'1", and I don't know if she's fought. I'm looking at a record right here. Hasn't fought at atomweight before.
Yeah, I don't think she has.
I know that's kind of been a speculation that a lot of people have had, and I think she's even talked about it. But hey, I mean, she's won four fights at strawweight, done just fine there, getting finishes. In the last two wins she had, and I believe she's a black belt in BJJ, at least very talented on the ground. So, she's a good fighter. She's a good fighter for sure. It was just that last fight again. If that's all you've seen from her, don't use that as an example, because one, Fiorot is a beast, and it was at flyweight. So I mean, if you saw the fight, you saw how ridiculous the size difference was. So terrible example. So. Yeah, Joseph, still with bantamweights. State has biceps like Hulk Hogan, brother. The shape she's in tells me she will beat Vera. He's completely flip-flopped, Steve. Do you remember Joseph saying that Vera was going to finish Tate and everyone was overhyping her? My goodness, Joseph. He's done a complete 360, this guy, or 180.
Joseph has seen
the light.
Yeah, Joseph saw Misha Tate, and he was like, damn, she's a monster.
Tried to tell you, man. Tried to tell you, but either way.
Joseph was having it at the beginning.
No, he wasn't. UFC can sign indefinitely because they don't have to pay them attention, let alone money, unless they actually fight. Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo. Centro says, gotta love Alvin's positivity. He does this on SCMP also. Yes, he does. You love to see it. Rue says, what would be a good fight to watch to prepare for this fight?
Her last LFA fight.
Yeah.
What was her last LFA fight? You have her thing up still?
No, I closed it.
Let's really check.
No Filter MMA. Good to see you, sir. He says, wait, who is Ricci fighting? She is fighting Maria Oliveira, 12-4, 24-year-old. Baby Shark. There you go. Maria Oliveira signed with the UFC.
Ormsby at LFA 105. She finished her punches. And then at LFA 98, she beat Vanessa Marie Grimes by armbar in the first minute. So, I mean, she's really good, guys. She really is good. She's a good fighter. She's only 26. I mean, can't ask for much from her at this point,
Yep, no doubt about it. So, Joseph asking Drake, what's the update on Meegan? because she has a tweet with the eyeball emojis and the quiet emoji. I don't know, but I will try and see. I mean, with a GIF.
She sent out a GIF, right?
Yeah, GIF says contract signed. So
yeah,
I know that she was working on some kind of, it was described as a project, maybe. So this could either be a fight contract or for whatever other things she's doing.
She's not gonna fight again, dude. I don't know. I get that feeling. You know, she's doing a lot of other stuff now.
Yeah, I Joseph asked about this, I think 2 weeks ago when you were gone, and I kind of said a similar thing, just because I mean, I could see it. I'm not sure if that's the direction she will go in, but as mentioned, when I did answer it, she always said that once she fixed her nose, which was broken in one of her first couple fights, and re-straightened out, which she has done now, that she'd be retiring. So if that's anything to go by, we'll see what this news means. But you know what, Joseph, I can ask my sources, because there's really only 2 places that she can go, right? Which are Bellator or PFL, if we're going to be honest. I'll try and see what I could hear while we're on the air here. But
could you imagine if she bulks up and goes to PFL?
I mean, wouldn't be a bad move. I mean, if Kayla Harrison's still around, but you know, well,
I would love to see her in PFL if she wants to fight again. But
yeah,
Bellator is tough. That's a beast of a division over there in Bellator.
Yeah,
but I mean, Meegan's good, so it would be fine. It's just another fighter, you know. It's good, another fighter in that division. They actually have a division, but if she were to go to PFL, that would be fun. A lot of fun, I think. Bulk up a little bit. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Be some fun fights there. Put her against Jenna Fabian. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, that would be a really good fight, man. I don't know if, man, that would be fun. A lot of length in that fight.
Yeah, no kidding.
A lot of length, a lot of hotness. Holy shit.
A marketable fight for Steve.
That would be, fuck me, dude. Amazing fight. Amazing.
Mr. Lee says, "Hey, Steve. Muhammad Ali documentary by Ken Burns on PBS starts this Sunday night."
Is that coming this Sunday? Man. Remind me, Mr. Lee. I probably won't even remember. But I knew that it was coming eventually. I knew that they were making it and that it was going to come out soon. I just didn't know when. Wow. Okay. Cool. Anything Muhammad Ali. Anything Muhammad Ali. Give it to me. Best boxer ever.
No Filter MMA says, "I'm glad to see Ricci at 115. The fight with Manon was unnecessary." Yes, it definitely was. There were plenty of flyweights for Manon to fight. Yep. Said that around the time.
Go in there against a girl like her in her debut.
Yeah, not great. As for the Meegan stuff, No Filter says, "I bet it's Bellator." I mean, if you want a real featherweight division, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Jimmy says, "How good is it for atomweights to join the strawweight division for UFC? Are they at a massive size disadvantage?" Depends. It depends on who you are, right? Look at Jin, who struggled a bit at first, but has adapted, at least in these last couple fights. Hannah Cyphers should be an atomweight, but she is, not doing well in strawweight. Look, Boonmei, as you said, complete atomweight, doing just fine for now until she climbs up a little bit more. That's purely off talent, though.
She's got to fight tougher girls at some point, and her skill might not transition into the weight difference.
Yeah,
the size difference. It might not be as easy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And it's not like she's knocking girls out right now as it is.
Yeah, exactly. Stamina says, "Plenty on the roster, plenty available, willing in the country / able to get there. We don't know."
Yeah.
Joseph says, I do not like Senko calling fights. Tate is better at calling fights.
Tate did a good job with Invicta.
Yeah, I did not mind her at all.
But Senko was good too.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, really, Joseph. She was good.
Yeah.
Misha was good too. I mean, they're not the same person.
Mm-hmm. Stamina says Meegan doesn't need to bulk up for lightweight. She trains pretty hard for featherweight. Yeah, that's true. She would not have to cut too much. Well, I mean, she'd be probably more comfortable at lightweight. That's for sure. Joseph says, Joseph says, Steve, how furious are you? We are not getting a banger between GDR and Aldana. I don't know. So sad.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty shitty. It's a pretty shitty situation there. I mean, it's not really a shitty situation. It's a different fight. We're still seeing Aldana fight, right?
Maybe. And when this kind of happened, I don't know if you were here when this happened, but I was saying just rebook it. You know, Pena and Nunes is a month after, so if they can move it like maybe to that same card, even better. You know, but I really want to see this one. It makes too much sense. I don't know who you'd put in there against Aldana instead. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, the winner of Rocky and Panny, which we'll get to. Yeah, it's a little tricky. It's a bummer though. I'm so excited for that. So
I don't know if I guess maybe if Panny wins the fight, then she can go up and fight an Aldana or GDR. That would be a lot of fun, actually. Either one of those against Aldana would be, or against Panny would be a shit ton of fun. Rocky is too up and down for me, you know.
Rocky.
it is like, honestly, right? Isn't she like, you don't know which one you're gonna get?
Yeah.
Lately.
Yeah, very true. But I mean, that would also be a chance at redemption for Aldana, because Rocky beat her, if you remember, which is always kind of crazy to remember, but pretty close and solid fight. So we'll see. Either way, I just really want to see GDR and Aldana, even though I don't want either one of them to lose. You know,
but they need to fight, and that is the fight that makes the most sense, especially for a number one contender.
Yeah, absolutely. Jimmy says, well, how about Leah Mccord versus Meegan Anderson, since Rain kept complaining about it earlier? I mean, that would be okay rankings wise, but as we talked about when that fight was announced, Leah Mccord taking on, was it Jessica Borga, right? Which doesn't make any fucking sense, but I think we know why they're doing that. London show continue to boost up Mccord a little bit.
Yeah.
The Meegan fight would make a whole lot more sense, Jimmy. So, but I will also say this as we continue to talk about it. I don't know, Steve, if you saw Cyborg on the MMA Hour a couple weeks ago or whatever, but she did say that her next fight is booked, and it is not Kat, and it is, yeah. I don't know if she said anything about Pam, but that would probably be the only one that makes sense if it's not Kat. So, I guess there's that possibility for Meegan as well, but seeing Meegan come in and get a title shot right away off a loss, I don't know if Bellator would do that.
She's a name. She's a big name, though.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that with anybody, really, right? They haven't done that with anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, just Cyborg coming in, but that was off a win against Felicia.
Right.
Cyborg, so. Jin says, at least Senko stays on topic with commentary, unlike DC and Anik talking about deaths in the fighters' family.
It's true. It's fucking true, though. Like, DC, I love the guy. I mean, I adore him because of his wrestling, and he makes me laugh and stuff. But Jesus Christ, that guy goes off the rail sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely can get sidetracked pretty easily. Rain saying nothing worse than Big John talking about the early days of UFC 1 during
Big John, dude. He has to be. I know you like him, Drake, but man, that guy has to be he shouldn't be there doing commentary for fights. He shouldn't be like on the main Bellator, every single fight card. We need him gone and bring somebody else in. Bring in a fighter or something.
Josh Thompson.
No. Gilbert Melendez would be better.
Ah, all right. Frank Mir. Bring back Frank.
Frank Mir would be excellent. I mean, he was excellent.
Yeah.
He would be excellent. Jimmy Smith would be good. Bring back Jimmy Smith for God's sake. What? I mean, he's doing WWE.
Yeah, they lost their chance at him now.
Right. Everybody, MMA lost their chance. Now he's doing WWE, but he's doing the Sirius XM stuff, and he's still talking about MMA, obviously. But as far as broadcasting, MMA fucked up by letting him go.
Yep.
He's a good MMA mind.
Indeed. Stamina says they better rebook it. It's not essential that Aldana fights anytime soon. I hope they wait it out. Exactly. I agree. With Pena and Nunes happening after that, I think it's a perfect opportunity. Depending on what GDR's injury is, because did not say. And Stamina also agrees with Rain that Big John is the worst. The fucking worst, he says.
Fucking worst.
Fucking. Cintro says he doesn't mind Sanko doing the commentary. She actually does the research on the fighters. You love to see that.
Plus, she does Contender Series. And, since they're bringing up a lot of Contender Series fighters, she's going to have that knowledge with a lot of the prelim fighters.
Yep, indeed. Joseph says the fight to make in 2022 is O'Neal versus Fioro.
I'm into it. Fuck it.
We'll see.
I don't know if they want to do that though, because then one of their really good young fighters is going to lose.
Yeah. And Stamina is fully with you there. That is a terrible idea. They have no business being across from each other anytime soon. Stop sign.
Yeah, not yet. Like, I mean, of course, that would be a banger of a fight. I'm into it. I love that fight. But I don't know if the UFC wants to do that.
James says, is Cyborg's next fight going to be as weird as DJ versus Rod Tang with weird ass rules?
Talking about this, Drake and I were just talking about this right before we came on. I fucking love it.
James, I'm going to say no to that. But I mean, maybe if RIZIN can work something out, have her there on New Year's Eve. But
how fucking excellent would that be?
That'd be incredible.
Dude, if RIZIN can get Cyborg over there for the New Year's Eve fight card,
she'd do it too. She would definitely do it.
She wants to fight in Japan. She's literally been saying it for fucking a decade.
Yeah.
She's one of those fighters who wants to go fight at the big events.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially when she's done as much as she has.
Yeah, exactly. She wants to be in the spotlight. She wants to get the big trophy that RIZIN gives out, shit like that. She wants all the accolade and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She would be like the prized possession. You know what I mean? Like RIZIN would bring her out on like a, what are those things called? The thing where Macho Man came out.
The like mini ring pedestal type thing.
Yeah, dude. Where they have people like carrying her in.
Yes.
Could you imagine?
That would be hilarious.
They would do show-stopping shit for Cyborg, I think. RIZIN already puts on amazing fight cards.
Yeah, that they do. Joseph says the only person that can beat Shepchenko, not named Nunes, is female Habib. Assuming that's Tatiana Suarez is who he's meaning.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see. Yep, well, can't talk about her till she's back. Rue says both fighters going through custody battles. John Anik with manipulative commentary to hype a fight you were already watching.
So fucking weird, dude. So fucking weird. That was like, I know the fighters were the fighter said that they talked to Anik about it or whatever, but still, like, that kind of shit comes off as fucking like, okay, the fuck, we don't need to know that.
Yeah, very odd talking point. Borderline unnecessary. I mean, maybe not borderline.
How do you come out like on commentary and be like, all right, this is the time I'm going to bring up the fucking custody battles. This is perfect timing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Dude, legit, like, I don't fucking know. Like, how do you come up like this? Is UFC's like, all right, do it now, now.
Yeah.
Custody battle, now, and it's here. You know, like,
could be, but all right, guys, let's move on. Last order of business in the news today. This is today. Bellator announced today this fight's a part of the big Moscow show. Steve, good luck with these names, my friend.
Dorina Madzik versus Katarina Sedura.
There we go.
The Moscow card. Bellator it's on the screen. 269. Man. Okay, I'm good with it.
Yep. I mean, for those of you who don't remember, Dorina Madzik right there, she's the fighter who took on the fat man, the 500-pound Grisha Polno, Russian YouTuber, and TKO'd him in the first round or whatever. But that fight I still question it a little bit, but it was good enough for Bellator to sign her, and she is indeed a legit prospect with a 4-1 record. This will be her flyweight debut. They signed her in like December or whatever, and this on the screen is actually I caught up with her after that. So if you want to see that interview I did, I think you can just search her name because I'm like the only one that's talked to her since then. So step your game up, fellas, if you're gonna hype up this woman who beat up a fat man. But here we are. So taking on Katarina, who is 4-4. There was it makes all the sense in the world for this to be on the Moscow show. And as I said in the tweet, I still expect Diana Avsaragova to be on here because that would be an absolute boneheaded move to not have her on here. Already have her teammate Irina Alekseeva on here, and now Dorina. I mean, I know it's coming up, but Bellator they could have already figured it out and just not said it yet. We'll see. We will see. But yeah, the Red Queen is finally arriving. We'll see how the weight cut goes for her, as she's fought at featherweight before. So Jin asks, the Moscow card, is this also going to feature another old Gracie Jiu-Jitsu representative, Scott Coker, doing strange things again? I know that one of the Gracie guys is fighting soon, Jin. I don't know if it's on this card, though. I know that they're coming up here. Might be this week. Might be the 16th card. It's one of these next three, though. I'll tell you that much.
Speaking of Gracies, when the fuck is Kron gonna fight again?
That's a fantastic question.
Holy shit, dude. We haven't seen that guy in... How long has it been? Let me look really quick. It's been a long time.
19, I think, since the Cub fight, right?
Yeah. Something like that. October of 2019.
Yep. Crazy.
That's wild.
Crazy. Got Rue asking for Sedura, any fights worth watching to prepare for her? Well, I would probably look at, her last two fights, I suppose. Maybe her last three. As I said, she's 4-4. Also has actually fought. I don't know if she has fought at flyweight. So this will be both their flyweight debuts, having been bantamweights and featherweights. But her last three fights, her last fight, which was in 2019, so she hasn't fought in a while, actually, was an arm triangle choke loss to Vladlena Yavorskaya. And then before that, rear naked choke win over Irina Kiselova. These fantastic Russian names. And then before that, Maiju Sootama knocked her out. So, I mean, it's pretty spotty for Sedura, but I would probably look at those last 3 just to see what she's been up to in the cage most recently, which, again, like Cron Gracie, not very recent. December 2019 was her last fight, so Bellator brought her back.
Smartly, I think.
Yep, got to give Dorina somebody solid because she hasn't fought in a while either since whenever that was, like late last year. So, yeah, will be interesting. James says, "Is the Red Queen as good as the Red King?" Not yet. We'll see if she can make that.
Rory hasn't been good lately, though.
Yeah, true, but peak Rory, of course.
Yeah.
Joseph says, the dream match I want to see is Shepchenko versus Velazquez. That would definitely be quite a doozy, but unfortunately unlikely to happen anytime soon. That's for sure, if ever. And he also says, I heard the UFC released Cron Gracie all aboard the Bellator train. I have heard nothing of this sort. That would be very dumb of them after an amazing fight. And that was his first loss, right? That was his only loss, was to Cubs. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I have not heard that, Joseph. But
He did
either
very
way,
well on RIZIN.
yes, he did. But yeah,
good opponents.
Indeed. So that's the news, you guys. There was not very much, but we stretched that out pretty good, and we got a lot of questions in between there. So thank you all so much. As we come up on the hour mark with 3 events to preview, Steve. We got Bellator 266. We got UFC Vegas 37. We got RIZIN 30. In total, we have 7 fights to talk about right now. And then closing out the show once again with the Fan of Punch breakdown. Get your popcorn ready, everybody, as the show's about to pick up in the second half. As I get into my, the horse track reader. Oh, they're going around the corner, coming on. Go. So, Jimmy says, did that replace the Twitter mailbag? So, Jimmy, if you missed it, we said we didn't get any mail this week. So, I guess it did, but
odd.
No mail, actually. So, yeah. But before we get to the first preview,
Steve and Blue are very unhappy right now.
Oh, yes. Joseph asks real quick, who's the dark horse of 135?
Panny.
Question. Yeah, there you go.
That's my answer.
That's probably the best one to go with. Carol Hosa came to mind, but if you think about who's higher up the ladder and very quietly climbing the ladder, it's Panny. And Steve, I know we're not going to jump right to UFC, but how fucking dumb is it that Panny and Rocky is on the prelims, dude?
I hate it, dude.
God.
I saw that. I mean, I've seen that, and I hate that the card.
That makes 0 sense.
Come on, we have Anthony Smith and Ryan Spahn as the headliner. That's not a great fight either.
Yeah. I mean, if you actually look at this card, I think the prelims are better than the main card, funny enough. But
is it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
But that's how they've been kind of shaking out lately too. Prelims have been really excellent lately for the UFC. Like, you can't miss prelims anymore.
Yeah, very true. And Rue asks real quick, can you guys define dark horse? Is it the same as wolf like we spoke of 2 months ago? No. Thrown to the wolves, that was the case of too much too soon, kind of, when they put you against somebody who's way higher up and you weren't ready for them and you shouldn't have been there already. With a dark horse, it's somebody who is ready for that kind of competition, will probably compete with them, but they're not getting the appreciation and kind of same praise as everybody else, even though they're in that mix, Rue. So, Panny is on, a 4-fight winning streak right now, and they're completely burying her and not really giving her enough love for how good she's gotten and all that kind of stuff. So another example of a good dark horse would be, let's see. Let me think. Who's a good one, Steve?
For 135.
Tom Aspinall at heavyweight. There's a good dark horse pick.
Oh, yeah.
Looking
That's
very
fine.
good.
Really good.
Yeah. So, I mean, people like that, Rue, who are on the come up ish, but you can see how good they are, but they're not getting maybe enough love or consideration for being a title threat. I think that's how I'd best describe that. So, hope that answers the question. And Go says, agreed, Steve. You can learn so much from those fighters. So,
Yep.
there you go. Jimmy says Jared Cannonier was coined dark horse by Izzy. Another decent example. Yeah, that's a solid one.
Derek Brunson's the dark horse.
Yes, he is definitely that now. There you go. Stamina, perfect. Dark horse equals full of promise, but underrated, being somewhat slept on. Exactly. He nails it right there. All right, you guys.
Derek Brunson. Woo.
Yeah.
That boy's wrestling. Fucking give it to me all night, dude. Love that shit.
Good stuff from the Blonde Bomber. Blonson, Derek Blonson.
Love that guy.
But all right, you guys, it's time to look at our lone fight, our Bellator 266. Just one for the Bellator family this weekend, this Saturday, and it is at flyweight, Steve. A solid one. Yeah,
Alejandro Lara taking on Deanna Bennett. They're both ranked, right? I don't know their rankings, but
Deanna is not.
Oh, Bennett's not. She wasn't she?
Nope, was never ranked.
Okay, Lara's for sure ranked.
Yeah. So big opportunity there for Deanna to spring up into the rankings as both of them look to rebound. Deanna, of course, made her Bellator debut opposite Liz Carmouche, which is a tough debut to make for anybody.
Dude.
Yeah, but she put up a good fight. I actually thought she looked pretty darn good in that fight, but still ended up getting submitted because Liz Carmouche is a monster. Yeah. And now taking on Lara, who also quite good. This is going to be interesting, Steve. And as the boys in the comment section know, and they get waving, we didn't even have to say Kana's name yet. They just had an affiliation with Kana, which is Lara. Mm-hmm. And out come the banners. So that's exactly what I was about to say, you guys, is, as you know, Lara's coming off the loss to Kana. So, it's like you read my mind. Perfect there. And I have a feeling that this fight very well has the potential to look just like that fight, Steve. And I mean that in the sense that Lara lights up Bennett in the first round, puts it on her, has her near finished, rocks her, hurts her on the feet, because Lara's a great striker, obviously. But then after that, we know Deanna Bennett, a serious grinder. She is very good at doing that. And when she gets a hold of you, can just tire you out and win fights that way. Yeah. So if she survives the first round, I could see her doing that for the rest of the fight, as we've seen Lara struggled just like against Kana that way. Yeah. I think that Deanna can replicate that, but she's got to survive that first round, and I don't know if she'll be able to, because we've seen her take some damage plenty of times, and the chin might be dwindling a bit to where her recoverability might not be as good as Kana's, and able to weather that storm, get a hold of her, use the judo, that kind of thing. But it's possible, but I don't know. Obviously, somewhat of a must-win situation for Deanna to avoid going.
Dude, and look at her age, 36.
Yeah, getting up there. Wouldn't be surprised if Bellator cut her afterward, which sucks because she did just get here still. And odds makers giving her some love, though. I mean, I think those are pretty perfect odds. It's just so interesting, though, man. I feel like it has complete potential to look exactly how I said with that Kana fight, because you look at
Bennett's not as good as Kana, though.
No. But when Lara loses, she loses against the grapplers, right? I mean, Velazquez, great striker, but has the judo base, and then Alima, those three. And then her other loss, I don't remember if it was in Bellator, if it was, before that or whatever, but those obviously stand out in her last 5, and she lost primarily because of the grappling. So
yeah,
it's if Deanna can do that. And of course, those 3 fighters are all a good bit better than Deanna. But again, I think she looked pretty good, and her striking was improved in that Liz fight, but still it wasn't enough against Liz, who had, the better wrestling, of course, because it's Liz. But Lara is not going to have that. So this is a very tricky one.
it's not that tricky. I think you're overthinking it.
Yeah, am I? Am I giving too much credit to vitamin D?
I think you are.
Okay. All right, Steve, tell me how it's going to go.
I think Laura sleeps Bennett.
All right. I love it.
Yeah, I'm going round 2. Laura, ground and pound.
Ooh, okay. Dang, Stamina says Deanna Bennett makes Yana Kunitskaya look like Tisha Torres. Wow.
That's
all
hilarious.
sorts of combinations here.
That's hilarious.
Alvin says, hopefully Ms. Lara can bounce back from the Kana loss, but hoping Bennett performs well also, as always. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the fight, as I said, has the possibilities of, looking similar like that, but I do agree with you. I think that she is going to get hurt. She's going to go down, and she's not going to be able to recover. Laura's just so fast and very tough in that first round to deal with. I mean, for anybody on the feet, just in general, but
yeah, even
Deanna needs to get past that. So yeah,
she was tough on the feet even against Velazquez. Shit, her and Velazquez went to a split decision.
Yeah, which I don't think it should have been exactly, but still, she was competitive enough.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna take Lara first round knockout, as mentioned there. But I do think Deanna does have that potential to replicate those past performances in the losses for Lara. James says, so is this the fight? The winner keeps their job at Bellator. I think Lara will be fine if she loses. Yeah, she's in the top 10.
Bennett, it's possible, but Lara's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Lara still 27.
And she's way too marketable.
Yeah,
she comes out to her weigh-ins with good messages about, the fires in her native Colombia and through the rainforest and stuff like that. She's way too marketable. They're not. Alejandra Lara's not going anywhere at all. Deanna Bennett, on the other hand, she loses for her 3rd time in Bellator in what has been a short time, like Drake said. It sucks for her, but she's also 36 years old, man. Like, the time's got to come at some point, and this might be it.
Yep. Very, very true. As we wrap up on this fight, Stamina's telling us we're going to have to kick him off because he needs to go to the park to jump some rope because he's a fat bastard trying not to be. Help a brother out.
Okay.
Tisk. We're not kicking you out, Stamina. Sorry, pal. The park can wait. Rain says, Drake, did you just mention the Bellator rankings which are utter nonsense? I did.
Have they put out rankings lately? I mean, I'm sure they have. I just haven't seen them.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything that's changed.
Yeah, they're not having cards.
Yeah, since the last event. So.
Again, they're back on their no card shit.
A little spotty. But
well, the UFC was out, last week?
Everybody was.
You would think that Bellator would have a card. Don't you think that's a smart thing to do? You see the UFC schedule, the UFC's out. Fuck it. Put it on the card. We're the only show in town.
Yeah. Wouldn't be too shabby. But 9/11, Steve, I think that was why.
Was that Saturday?
Yeah. Right. He doesn't know where he is right now, everybody.
Fuck, that was a tough day. Yeah. You're right.
Slipped to mind.
No, yeah. I just thought UFC was out. So I was like, fucking Bellator should have a card. But yeah, 9/11, you're right. Obviously not No, not a good look to put on a fight card. But we did have a boxing card that night with Trump commentating, right? Woo, boy. That was some shit. You guys want to talk about great things happening in combat sports? How about that Triller fight card with Tito getting slapped?
Moving on. Stamina says, if I don't go, I'm just going to go to bed. If I go to bed, I wake up fat. Why do you want that for me? Crying. It wants you to be nice and comfortable, Stamina. Embrace
Nice
the
and
fatness. It's about to be winter, isn't it? So you need it. You need it, actually. We're creeping up on winter. But that's Bellator 266. Everybody. The lone fight. Yoel Romero is back, taking on Mr. Wonderful.
Oh, is that this week?
Yeah, that's the main event.
Okay. Is that Friday?
No, it's going head to head.
Oh my god. They're going head to head. So they're going head to head with this card?
Yep.
Okay, well, Yoel's fighting, so I might be watching Bellator. I'm not into the Smith and Spawn fight.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Into it.
I hear you there, but I am into all of these fights for the most part, Steve, that we're about to talk about. UFC Vegas 37 preview time, kicking things off in the 115-pound strawweight division. Let me unshare the Bellator one real quick as we kick things off. Jerking the curtain, Steve. Take it away.
Yeah, Hannah Goldie and Emily Whitmire. Like Drake said, first fight of the card. I don't know who's gonna win this fight. They both haven't shown like a ton lately. They're like Whitmire is at least trying to stay active, you know?
Trying, but my goodness, Steve, when this fight was made and we did talk about it, which I want to say, yeah, Goldie's replacing somebody. I don't remember.
Click on Whitmire's name.
Yeah, who Whitmire was supposed to fight here. Spitfire, still one of my favorite nicknames with the last name combination.
4 and 4.
McKenna. Goodness, look at that. Look at all the cancellations she's had. Got sick against
all of those fights.
Fiona.
Cyphers, she probably would have. That probably would have been the easiest fight for her. Was the Cyphers fight? But Sam Hughes would have beat her. McKenna definitely would have beat her.
That one would have been interesting. But I mean, with Whitmire's withdrawals, I believe in the Hughes fight and the Viana one, and that Viana fight ended up happening, as you can see there. And then Hebus, no shame in that. It's like the strawweight weight cut is too much for her, but she continues to try it, you know.
Yeah. And
so here we are. Even though this says flyweight, but I'm pretty sure that this is a strawweight fight. I'm pretty sure. If it's not, then that would be cool. But I don't know. Corey McKenna is flyweight. Maybe it is flyweight. I don't know. I mean, I swear I saw that it was strawweight. Either way, I mean, if it's flyweight, even better. But I think that definitely helps Whitmire as opposed to Goldie, who, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter since they've both fought at strawweight for a good amount of their careers and most of their careers. I think Goldie's fought at flyweight before, but this is a tough one to call. I mean, Goldie did not look very good in that last fight, which like a month ago, right? Against Belbita. Yeah, a month and 2 weeks, month and a half. Belbita looked very good in that one, styled on her a bit.
Yeah.
Of course, that was Goldie's first fight in a good while since that Granger loss, but backs against the wall. Loser leaves town a bit. They each could use the dub. I don't know, man.
Who's the better fighter of the two?
I mean, hey, if you want to look at who's at the better camp right now, I mean, Whitmire training at Syndicate, all the names in Syndicate.
True.
Roxy, JoJo, Ramona, Norma Dumont hanging out there, Jiyeon Kim. List goes on and on and on and on. I mean, I know it didn't help for Kim last week, but hey, Whitmire might be rusty. I don't know. It's a tough one to pick. I agree. I think that it'll be fun, but maybe not the best fight, but should be fun.
Ghost Phantom said something. What did he say? He said, I'm not looking forward to Hannah Goldie trying to throw the same combo over and over for 3 rounds. It's true. Like, she doesn't do a hell of a lot.
Yeah. I think
this isn't a good fight, Drake.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just think it could be a little fun for what it is. I think that we will see Whitmire try to take the fight down because she does have some solid enough grappling skills. You know, we've seen her do well there. And, you know, Goldie, of course, not too threatening on the feet and, you know, maybe better on the ground, but still hasn't shown much in the UFC. I don't know, man. This is tough, but I think I'm going to lean towards Whitmire, especially if it's at flyweight. If this is at flyweight and she's not depleting herself as bad as she has been to where she can't even fight, I like her chances because of that. But if she gets it to the ground, I think that, you know, her grappling will be good enough to maybe find something. I don't know. But Goldie just has, I think Goldie's looked worse against worse competition. Let's put it that way, because Diana Belbita, still a great prospect, has good potential. Granger, also same kind of boat. But Whitmire, with losses to Viana and Hebas, who are both fighters that would beat the fighters that beat Goldie, I think. So if we're going to play that game, then I'm still taking Whitmire. And I will say, I think she'll find a submission. I do. I'm going to say round 2 submission for Whitmire. That's fuck it.
Okay. I don't see anybody beating the other one by submission or knockout or anything like that. I just don't believe in either of them, really. If they were both to get cut, it would be fine. I would be okay with it. Not much of a loss.
Where's Alvin?
But I don't know. I'm leaning Goldie for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I think it goes a decision no matter what, no matter who wins. I think it's probably a decision fight. You're going Whitmire. I'll go Goldie for the fuck of it.
All right. Stamina.
I'm not surprised if either of them win. You know, I mean, it's not that great a fight to me.
Stamina says Goldie is mahusive. If this is at fly, I think this favors her all the more, to be honest. All right, there you go. Centro asks, should he be hyped for this fight? If you couldn't tell by Steve, it's a no. Oh, there you go. He already answered. And look at Alvin coming in here, though, as he says he's got Whitmire, but he thinks Goldie will do well. Such great women working hard to put on fights for us. Very thankful for what they do. I love this guy. I love this guy. And there we go. A pick, though, from Alvin, though, going with Whitmire as well. So I think we're all split here, Steve. You and Stamina, and then me and Alvin on each side here. So interesting.
Well, Stamina saying if it's at flyweight. Right,
which I'm still not 100% sure about. But, yeah, weird. I don't know what's... Well, yeah, because Kay Hansen and Corey McKenna... Kay Hansen fought Jin. You know, that was at strawweight. So I'm pretty sure it's at strawweight. But I guess we'll see on weigh-in day. I don't fucking know. Either way, Steve, the next fight is the one, not the one I'm looking forward to most, but the fighter I might be looking forward to most because it is.
You see this?
The UFC. What do we got
it's a flyweight.
Here? Oh shit! All right. So there we go. Problem solved. Maybe. Still to be determined.
So I think Stamina and I are going Hannah Goldie.
All right. Alex is here. Good to see you, sir. Coming in late in the show and late for you. Appreciate it, pal. But yeah, anyway, Steve, one of the debuts we've been waiting for quite a while now. Looking forward to it very much.
Yeah, this is such a good fight. Blanchfield is always exciting. Alpar?
Well, this fight is at flyweight, And I'm so happy it's at flyweight because Erin Blanchfield, her UFC debut was originally going to be a short notice bantamweight fight, which is so fucked up and such a disservice to her. And Sarah Alpar coming back to flyweight where she was before the UFC, really probably shouldn't have fought at bantamweight, got completely decimated by Jessie Jess, and then even didn't look that great in her Contender Series bout, which I think was also at bantamweight, but dropping back down to flyweight where she should definitely look better, because that's where she, pretty much got on the scene prior to the UFC that way. But here we are, cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield, one of the absolute best prospects in the sport, period, right now. 22 years old, is already a BJJ black belt. Her striking is improving a lot. She should be 7-0. Got robbed against Tracy Cortez in Invicta. I feel like most people will agree with that. If they saw that fight, the odds makers giving her the rightful favorite. I agree with those odds. And Steve, I think this fight, again, has potential to be fun. But on paper, this is a terrible matchup for Sarah Alpar. This is real bad news for her.
Alpar is always in the fight. She's always in the fight. She'll take the beating that Blanchfield gives her
until she gets submitted. And that's how I think it's going to go. Because if you look at it, Sarah Alpar's best path to victory here is to wrestle, get things down, as she tried to do against Jessie Jess.
She did. Yep.
But you do that with Blanchfield, you're in a world of trouble. And now on the feet, as we've seen in her last couple fights, you're still in a world of trouble. Beat Brogan Walker Sanchez using an unanimous decision in her last time out, and we've seen how good Brogan is. Before that, kicked the shit out of Leonardo's face twice, and that was incredible. So on the feet, I think Blanchfield is going to be the better striker for sure. She's shown to be a little bit more lethal there and improving rapidly. And then, as I said, she's a black belt on the ground now, and we know that she's been able to submit people plenty.
She's very good.
Or won the EBI, right? That's kind of how she broke on the scene, Steve. I remember when we were talking about that when it happened. So, yeah, I think that this is definitely her fight to lose. Alpar's best chance is to grind her out and on the ground, but that's you're in deep waters there. So
it's really tough to do against Erin Blanchfield.
Yeah. So we've been very high on Blanchfield for pretty much since she entered MMA in period, and she is continuing to prove to us why she should be so hyped up. And I think her future is very, very bright. And you want to talk about the Miranda Mavericks and people like that. Blanchfield will be up along them probably sooner rather than later. She is.
This is the fight to show up and show out.
Oh yeah,
Alpar's a good opponent for that, I think.
Yep. I think this is a absolute perfect stylistic matchup for her. So Blanchfield, I'm gonna say first or second submission. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can say which round, but I think the submission will come, and it's going to be fun to watch, and we're going to be praising it even more afterward.
Yeah.
So,
which is nice to do. I like praising fighters that we've been behind for a very long time. It's been quite a while, Drake.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So Jimmy says cold-blooded Blanchfield. That has a nice ring to it. Yes, it does. Great nickname. And it's funny too because it's very kind of opposite because she's nice. Very, very nice person. Yes, very innocent. Rue says I'm going with Erin just because of the nickname. Fair enough, but you're gonna see why there's more to her than just the nickname. Stamina says, right, my shoes are on. I'm off to the park, but I'm taking my iPad so I can listen. Attaboy, that's the way. Just can't comment. Obviously, you'll thank me when I post my six-pack selfies on Twitter. Definitely kidding. Oh, don't do that. You gotta flex a little bit, man. But
10 minutes of jumping rope is like 30 minutes of running.
There you go. There you go, Stamina. James says, I think Blanchfield finished it by armbar. Yep. There you go. Wouldn't be surprised. So, Steve, your official pick. Let's get it in.
I'm going Blanchfield. Like you, she's gonna finish this fight within by the second round.
Yep.
I think that Alpar is going to do something dumb and she's going to get caught. Yeah, because she goes in there like a maniac.
Yeah, not the most calculated.
Right. Blanchfield's a smart fighter. She's gonna catch that shit and she's gonna fucking take it to the ground and she's gonna finish her.
Yep, can see it going that way. So that is the first of 2 flyweight fights on this card. Steve and I agreeing on that one after the kind of meh start to our picking on the UFC card anyway.
Yeah.
As we move on to the most important fights, maybe on the whole card, Steve. I mean, in reality,
when it comes to like the rankings and stuff.
Yeah,
like who can possibly fight for a title soon.
Yeah, exactly. So here we are. Should not be on the prelims, but it is.
Right. Raquel Pennington versus Penny Kianzad. Such a great fight. Fucking banger all over it. This has like nonstop blood. Somebody's gonna bleed. Probably Rocky. She always bleeds. Penny might lose another tooth. Who knows? Like these girls just throw the fuck down, dude. Such a good fight. I'm into it, man.
Yeah, I think that this is just going to be very well, could just be a straight up boxing match, honestly. Like, probably some clinching in there against the cage. Rocky likes to get in there. But
yeah, hopefully it doesn't go to the ground. They don't want to go to the ground.
And wow, very interesting odds here, Steve. Do you agree with this? Slight, ever so slight favorite to Rocky P.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty
experience edge, but Penny's rolling.
Pretty damn close. So it's not some crazy number at all. Yeah. They literally say near even next to Penny's number, which is plus 110. There's no money to be made here.
Yeah, definitely not, unless you're gonna do some kind of props or whatever. But
not straight up betting.
Either way, yeah, this is pretty much if you want to go whatever you lean towards in terms of experience versus momentum, right? Because Penny, as I said, 4-fight winning streak.
That's big.
Longest winning streak in the division outside of Nunes, obviously. And yeah, both of them incredibly tough. Last time Penny was hurt on the feet was Panda, right? Raging Panda, which was that was her last loss, wasn't it? So since then, really turned things around. Rocky, of course, incredibly durable herself. Survived till that 5th round against Nunes, and they did go all the way, didn't they? That was a decision, but which shows you how tough she is, even though she didn't want to fight in the 5th round, is what it is. So I think that in this fight, it would be a lot better for Penny to mix it up, which she did not do very well in the Davis fight. Her last time out at UFC, what was that, 263, I think it was? Yes, it was. Didn't kick like at all. She practically just boxed in that one, still got the job done. But in this case, with somebody like Rocky, who, as Ghost mentions, not the worst counterer, people forget that Pennington was actually countering Nunes well. Then Nunes's pressure led her to the fence and melted her. So, yeah, it would be not bad of Penny to mix it up and pressure her in this matchup because, again, Nunes was working that leg in that fight with Pennington. Penny can get to that kind of thing. That would be pretty smart. On the ground, I don't see this fight really ending up there. And if it does, I don't know if there's a clear advantage for either. Alvin says he's not sure who will win this fight, so we'll just be rooting for both to give a great performance. Attaboy. Jin takes Penny. And, Steve, she's obviously been more active than Rocky because of the suspension. Rocky hasn't fought since a year and 2 months ago against Marion. And they were matched up originally to be at UFC 263 instead of the Davis fight for Panny. So Panny, I mean, she's wanted this since before that, right? Remember when we were talking
She's
about
been calling her out.
She's been wanting it since the Eubanks fight kind of and all that stuff. So she's had her eye on Rocky for a long time and been game planning for her, I think. So she's going to be very well prepared.
As a winnable fight against a pretty good name.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I think this is probably going to be the perfect time for her to get this fight in terms of Pennington coming back after layoff, her with all the momentum. So yeah, man, it's hard to go against Panny in these types of fights, right? Like a fight that
Panny's hurting girls, man.
Yeah, she's doing some damage right now. Hands looking sharp. She's got it going on right now. So as Ghost mentions, the key for Panny is feints to overload the counter striker. Never hurts. Make Rocky react and convert on the reactions. And I think she's capable of doing that. But yeah.
Panny's fine-tuned all of a sudden. Like she's really taken that extra step to get better, and it's shown the past 4 fights. She's really gotten a hell of a lot better, and really a kind of not you can't miss fighter.
Oh yeah, she is always in entertaining scraps, brings it, and in a matchup like this, I think that's a guarantee. So I think this has potential to be a close one. Like I could see a split decision, but I think Panny will do enough to edge things out. It just feels like her time. She's got this great wave, and there's a reason she's been wanting this matchup, and I think she might know something we don't. So I believe in her, as Ghost has been pointing out.
I'm with you.
So I think Panny, unanimous decision in this one. Rocky, very, very tough to finish. So I don't think that'll happen, but I think Panny will do enough in this one.
Man, it's nice to see those call-outs get somewhere finally. You know?
Materialize.
you don't see it a lot, but she's been doing it for quite some time now. Finally, man, this is a really good fight. It should be a main card fight. Come on, we have Boehm and Lipsky on the main card, and not
Dude, that fight's before the co-main event, dude. How crazy!
Come on, that's crazy. That's just ridiculous, and we know why they're doing that, right?
I guess so. I guess so. So we'll get into that right now, as Steve said. Lipsky versus Boehm, flyweight fight between.
Good fight. I like it. But it shouldn't be on a card before Kianzad and Pennington or after Kianzad and Pennington.
No, definitely not. I mean, Mandy Boehm coming into the UFC debut.
Really good.
The 7-0 prospect out of Germany, was in Bellator.
Yeah.
Still very surprised that Bellator let her go for whatever reason. I still don't know. And I was hoping to speak to Mandy before this fight, but could not put that together, unfortunately. And then on the other side, the violence queen. My, oh my, Steve. One of the saddest outcomes of a UFC career we've seen to this point. 13-7 now. 2-fight losing streak. 2 bad losses to Antonina and Montana. I mean, she desperately needs to win this fight.
It just hasn't been what we thought we would see. You know, after she just demolished girls at KSW.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is Mandy Boehm is pretty solid on the ground. Pretty good wrestler. Whereas Lipsky has just proven to not have any takedown defense really at all in the UFC. She used to. I don't know what happened to it. And as
I guess,
and
she's fighting the better fighter. She's in the UFC, the best promotion with the supposedly best fighters in the world.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Exactly. So it's going to be tricky. And I think that Mandy Boehm is talented enough to, as Rue says, Boehm can just touch Lipski's legs and Lipski will go down. Unfortunately, that's not too far off. And Jimmy asks, has Lipski learned how to stuff a takedown yet? We'll find out. This is make or break, man. This is absolute.
They're not going to cut her. They won't cut her. They're going to get. Come on, Drake. They're not going to cut her. If I know it's 3 fights in a row, but we've seen worse fighters go 3 or 4 fights with a loss and still stay in the UFC. They're not going to cut Lipski if she loses. Unless if Boehm just annihilates her and then they're going to be like, all right, fuck it, we're done with you.
Well, I think that's how Mandy would win this fight, right? Is gets her down, just pulverizes her like we've seen in the last 2 fights.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much striker versus grappler in this scenario here. And as it typically is against Lipski, because we know she's fucking dangerous on the feet. She is a fantastic striker. She had Antonina in trouble in the brief period that fight was on the feet. But once somebody tries to take her down, then that's pretty much over. So it's like we know what she can do.
Is the number 1 fighter in Germany.
There is that. So there you go. But no, I think Mandy Boehm is legit talent, and
very good.
This is going to be sad once again. So
crazy.
I think
crazy that we're talking about Lipski losing to Mandy Boehm, but I mean that's where we're at, and because Lipski hasn't shown us shit.
Yeah.
Especially recently. In 2 fights in a row where she's lost pretty badly.
Oh yeah. Yep. And Ghost says Boehm can just try to draw out a rear hand from Lipski and time a body lock. Watch, this man just predicted the future. So I unfortunately for Lipski, as everyone who's been following the WMMA Today podcast since day 1, which I don't know how many of you that is, but for those who are here now, Steve and I have always been talking about Lipski since back then and been on that train.
Yeah. I think she's our biggest letdown.
Oh yeah.
You know, as far as like you and I, how we thought about women, these female fighters doing very well and like possibly becoming a champion in the UFC and stuff. We thought all of that of Lipski. This is far from what we thought.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, before the UFC, Lipski was a legit top 10 flyweight. Like what, around 6'5" Steve? Like some people even had her higher than that. That's how good she was.
We don't get him wrong, Drake, very often, but when we get him wrong, we get him wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jin says Lipski, BLDE, biggest letdown ever. Oof. Hopefully she can turn around though, but that's not my prediction. I'm gonna take Boehm by 2nd round TKO ground and pound. I think it's gonna be the same story on repeat.
It's so hard to go against Lipski, you know, for the heart pick. But I mean, what we've seen from Mandy Boehm is amazing. She's fucking finishing girls easily, kind of easily, to be honest. Like she's not getting. And Bellator, we agreed on that too. Bellator fucking fucked that one up.
Yeah.
Go. Don't know.
If you remember, Steve, they originally had Mandy Boehm lined up to be Liz Carmouche's debut in Bellator.
What a trip, dude! So crazy what has happened with the whole Mandy Boehm thing. Now she can come into the UFC and go into the UFC and take out Ariane Lipski, you know, the queen of violence, who many of us who've been watching remember what she did in KSW, and she's got hands and she fucking has some beautiful Muay Thai striking, but we have yet to really see that, and it hasn't really shaken up that way in her UFC career yet. I don't see that happening against Boehm. Boehm is really good. She's a fantastic fighter. The UFC is putting her on the main card right before the co-main event of the night. There's reasons. And I don't think it's Lipski.
Yep. It's tough one. Very tough one. But funny, James, that he mentions this because he says, was Lipski like Mazo back in the day? And then says, obviously, Mazo was way better. Funny enough, James, Lipski was way better back in the day. Way better.
Okay, so when you hold a title belt in KSW or LFA, they're both really good, right? But which one do you think is the better promotion? I think you would go with KSW.
Yeah.
So Arian Lipski was running through girls in KSW. Just straight up annihilation type shit. Lipski was amazing, dude. That's why Drake and I literally had Lipski becoming a champion, or getting close to that. Of course, that's not.
We talked about her versus Valentina. You remember this? That was like a big part of one of our episodes.
Yes, and I mean, I don't think that we were far off seeing what Lipski was doing in KSW. I don't think we were far off, Drake, but she's really not turned out to be the fighter that we or whoever watched KSW thought she would be. So it's a big fucking letdown with Lipski. It's a massive letdown with Lipski. Boehm is gonna fucking finish her, and that sucks.
Yep. Yes, it does. But this is nothing against Mandy Boehm, you guys. Just so you know, as if you couldn't tell. But
we literally picked Mandy Boehm to
I know.
No, I mean, we might be like, it might seem like we're shitting on Lipski, but no, this is what has happened in her UFC career.
Yeah.
She's not the fighter that she was. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the better quality fighters, but to be honest, she should have beat Shepchenko easily.
Yep. Never anticipated that fight to go that way.
No. At all.
But it did. So that's pretty much all you need to know. So enough sadness.
Wild that we're picking in 2021 that we're picking Mandy Boehm to beat Arian Lipski. I'm picking her to win by a knockout, and that fucking is crazy to me.
Wild that the fight is even a thing. Who would have guessed that this would have been happening? Last year even.
Bellator really fucked that one.
That's very weird. Very, very weird. But anyway, you guys, UFC Vegas 37. That is all the action.
UFC swooped in on Boehm.
They were knew like, it was going to happen.
Yeah, they were like, "What the hell?"
Thank you.
They were like, "This girl's available." It's kind of like the AEW shit going on right now, with CM Punk and Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole and who God knows who else is going to go over to AEW. UFC was like, give me this girl that's full of highlight reels.
7-0 from Germany, all these unique things. Perfect storm.
Yeah. Seriously, man. Crazy.
Yeah. Madness. So, all right. Well, Steve, we're only split so far on Goldie versus Whitmire, which is whatever. So, as usual, on the same
it's not
page.
Even a fight that matters, to be honest.
Right. So, here we go as we get ready for the RIZIN 30 preview. RIZIN is back, and I can already tell you guys, Steve and I are going to be picking the same again. I just know it. But as we get into this card, we have history once again kicking off. Well, once again, as in the last fight, the last card had the ladies kicking off the show, but there's history kicking off this show, Steve. And I'm sure you're not super familiar with these ladies, but we got to talk about it because it is a big deal. Because there's the first female kickboxing fight in RIZIN history. And of course, who other than Rina Panchan Okamoto, an absolute superstar in Japan, kickboxing world, the biggest name out there, aside from maybe Anissa Mexen, people in one. Taking on Momoka Mandicoro in the opening bout, as I mentioned. See if they have the records here on Tapology. It's just right here. They don't, but Rena is 11-0 now. While Momoka is like, I want to say 19-11-ish. Obviously, the experience is in her favor. But
it's crazy because they're so young, still 20s, 27,
yeah.
28.
Yep, 27.
What a height difference. Is she really 4'11"?
Yeah,
I mean, I know that she's smaller, but she's really 4'11"?
I mean, yeah, that's the funny thing about...
That's like damn near a midget.
Yes, the funny thing about Panchan is like an absolute monster, not just talent-wise, but physique-wise for the atomweight division. And this fight is even lower than 105 pounds. It's an 102-pound catch weight, which I think is generally...
She's 4'11" and tiny as shit.
Yeah, so Panchan is...
like, I can't make that weight.
Right. But I mean, yeah, Panchan normally fights around here to 105 anyways. Just doesn't have too much weight on her. But I mean, a ridiculous frame, very, very thin for that weight. When you think about like Jessica Andrade is 5'1", right? And then you got the 102-pound Panchan who is 5'5", taller than her. Uses her length very, very well, and it generally is what wins her all of her fights. A fantastic front kick. She's good at using the range, so she's very tough to beat because of that. Yeah, definitely. So she's just on such a roll right now, and got a fantastic knockout in, I think it was her last fight. I wish I had that up actually, because it was beautiful. And yeah, it was only a matter of time, I think, before RIZIN gave her an opportunity. And it's fantastic to see her on this big stage. She's really pretty much leading the charge for the women in kickboxing and trying to help make it bigger and all that. While maybe eventually going to MMA. When I talked to her about it, she did not seem super into that idea yet, because she still wants to conquer the kickboxing world as best she can and help elevate the sport overall. So great step in the right direction to do that. Very, very fun personality. Has a YouTube channel, of course, and all that fun stuff. Good follow. Very entertaining. In and out of the ring. This should be good. Big moment. But even though Momoka has the experience edge, she just, I don't think at this current stage is as good as Panchan. No one's been able to get past that distance, that range. So it's what it is. And here we go. Ghost coming in, says he loves Panchan's style. You guys have to check her out. Feints, rhythm, changes, inside low kicks, everything I love to see. Yeah, man. She's very good. A very good striker, without a doubt. So there you go. Ghost has the endorsement there. Maybe we can, maybe we'll get a breakdown in the future. Maybe after the fight, Ghost can tell us what she did well, because I don't know if I already said, but yeah, official prediction for me. I think Panchan will get it done here. She hasn't been much of a finisher despite getting the knockout in the last fight. Maybe she'll go all out in this one. The biggest stage she's been on so far in RIZIN. She is a champion in kickboxing, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe she'll get the knockout, but that's typically not what she does. Generally, just kind of styles on people. But either way, Panchan will get the job done. I think I'm going to just officially say by unanimous decision. So yeah. Rue, very excited for Hamasaki Fugino too. Reason to be. Same as James. Sazakita's here. What's up, man? Showing up just in time for the very end of the show. Ghost says Panchan's style is perfect for MMA, but that doesn't mean she should do MMA or will do well at it. Just her style can freeze a lot of people. Yep, agreed. And she is not at all thinking about it too much. When I asked her, as I said, wants to make her striking as good as she can first before getting into that. And again, man, if you think about her style plus these physical advantages that she has, like, she's immediately going to be like the biggest, at least in terms of length, atom weight. Like there are not many atom weights that size. I mean, maybe Elise Anderson kind of matches up with her, and she's at strawweight now and won championship, 115, I should say. But yeah, Zazakita asking Drake, have you heard anything from Rena or Ren Hiramoto? Off topic there, Zazakita, but still appreciate it. Rena, nothing. Doesn't sound or seem like she will be fighting anytime soon, unfortunately. And, she might be done. She kind of teased that at the end of her last fight with Tommy Matsu. Would be sad, but who knows? Maybe she'll come back for an eventual Ayaka retirement fight. They can both retire together or something like that. But not so sure what Rena's doing. Just enjoying life. A little bit like Joanna. She's kind of being Japan's Joanna in a way. Hiramoto, I think that he's got something in the works, but at least working on it. I don't know specifically there, but I think he'll probably be back before Rena. So there's that. And Jin says again, if Ghost is hype for her, she must be good. Exactly. There are some highlight videos out there for Rena Panchan if you are interested. And of course, go check out my interview I did with her in Broad Horizon, episode 5. A very stacked lineup. That was one of the best shows. James says, man, Ghost hype for Takabayashi and Panchan. These two must be good. There you go. There you go. They are definitely very good. Ghost says, it's just like Jackie Buntan. Good style for MMA, but not interested in doing it. Exactly.
Speaking of Jackie Buntan, she's going to be fighting for the one championship female Muay Thai strap.
Oh, really? Is this breaking news, Steve?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, but all right. Very cool.
I don't know her opponent though.
Okay.
I mean, it might be kind of, I don't know. Hold on.
Accidentally breaking news. Not that I've heard.
You don't know. Is it out there? I just know.
I haven't seen it. I hope you just dropped that. Dropped that sneaky bomb on us all.
Hold on. Let me look and see.
Rue says, now I really have to check out Rena Panchan if it has the Go seal of approval. Exactly. Yep.
The Go seal of approval.
Yeah, man. There you go. Now we need a stamp for that as well.
You're striking pretty damn good.
Yes. Zazakita says, thanks for answering the off-topic questions. I know you are the person to ask about Asian MMA news. Greatly appreciate that, sir. Yes, I try to stay in that loop as much as I can, of course. And anytime you have any questions, you know where to find me. James says, I don't know. I'd like Buntan to do MMA. I don't know, or maybe he's saying I don't know if I'd like to. What's wrong with her doing MMA? Chuck is in the house.
My MMA News wrote an article about it too.
Oh, okay.
Jackie Buntan is first ever one strawweight Muay Thai title bout.
Oh, all right. Okay. I guess I missed that. But either way, Steve, before we move on to the people's main event, any thoughts, final thoughts on the historic kickboxing match? Official pick, anything like that? It's hard not to go against Panchan in this one.
Yeah, Panchan's going to win. I mean, there's a lot of... Her opponent's so small, though. Like, I just feel like she's going to get head kicked or something.
I mean, she doesn't have to lift the leg far, I tell you that much.
Wild.
Yep. So very much looking forward to that. I love that fight's opening the show, too. I think that's perfect. Just an overall fantastic card. RIZIN 30. A lot to like, and especially that history, as we'll get to watch. So awesome stuff there. And Steve will be awake for it. That's the best part, is that he'll get to see it as he falls asleep. As the
typically fall asleep for RIZIN fight cards.
But all right, you guys. Now the fight you've been hyped up for so much, since you really got to know the GOAT and how good the GOAT is. It's GOAT time. The champ, Ayaka Hamasaki, the other champ, the Pancrase strawweight champion, Emmy Fugino, the rematch. Steve, it's going down. Champ versus champ, best friends, all of that.
I hope I'm awake for this.
Love. This one will be the last one before intermission, so if things cruise along, should be all good. But yes,
this isn't like one of the last fights.
I know. Well, they're doing all the tournament fights
Right.
at the end. So
Yeah.
I know it'd be awesome to make this main event though, but Kaya Sakura.
I feel like it should have been,
Yeah.
but
But the last one before intermission is kind of like second main event, you could kind of say, or the prelim main event, whatever that is. But yes, Alvin, very high for this. Jin, nobody is beating Hamasaki.
Hamasaki's so hard, so tough to beat. I don't know, man. I don't see how Fugino is going to beat Hamasaki.
Zazakita says, how much will size matter in this rematch? Pretty sure the challenger has fought at a higher weight class for a long time. So, Zazakita, technically, Emmy is not the challenger in this fight. Non-title fight, champ versus champ, though. And yeah, Emmy this is going to be her debut below 115 pounds. Of course, she's been around for ages, fought absolutely everybody you could think of. Yan Xiaonan, Zhang Weili, Viviane Araujo, Megumi Fuji. List goes on and on. Emmy Fugino has probably fought them if you know who they are. But yeah, she's a strawweight by trade, and she's the Pancrase strawweight queen. So taking on Ayaka, who, she's going to have the size advantage. But again, the first time they fought, the size wasn't too big of a deal, and that was at strawweight as well. Hamasaki, got the win there, and that was a much less skilled Hamasaki. Like, she has, as you guys know, improved tremendously in that 8-year gap. She has elevated to a level that obviously is damn near untouched. And as Jin says, nobody's beating Hamasaki. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is I've been saying it for the last so many fights now, right? Since after the Ham quadrilogy or trilogy, excuse me. I want the quadrilogy, as we all should. But if your name isn't Sohee Ham, I don't think you're going to be competitive with Ayaka. And yeah, Kana Asakura in the last fight definitely surprised me by making it as close as she did. But still, that's 2 fights in the books with Ayaka. If they were to have a trilogy, she's going to learn even more and be more ready for that kind of thing. But in this case, I still feel the same, where nobody is touching Hamasaki. As Sintro says, too skilled on the feet and on the ground. James says, after rewatching the Phantom Punch breakdown for Hamasaki's skills, or for her grappling and striking, she's too good. Sazakita says, only Mother Time will beat Hamasaki. That's the thing, man. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys before. I probably did during those breakdowns, but Hamasaki is somebody who she's pretty much the dominant cruise of the bantamweight division, not just in terms of the skills she has in both striking and grappling. That's actually a comparison I've never thought of that way, but very unique striker and then a very good grappler. Cruz obviously doesn't get as much love, I think, for his wrestling as he does his striking. But either way, what I was getting at there was Hamasaki has had 3 ACL tears, so she has actually had to go through the same amount of surgeries as him, I believe. But you wouldn't know it because she's kept that very private in her career and somehow not missed as much time as him. So she's kind of a freak of nature for that. But here we are. And then Emmy Fugino, who Rue says he's going with her because Weili gave her props after winning in Pancrase.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, she's been on a great run, obviously, in these last 3 fights. But as John pointed out the other day, JHK over on SCMP, much lesser competition, and especially compared to who Hamasaki's been fighting. But yeah, where was I getting at? Fugino is also coming off of knee surgery, which was in December, I think. And when I spoke to her a couple months ago, she actually, interestingly enough, said that she doesn't feel like it helped her. Like she felt like it kind of is just a thing that, she had to do. And now she has to deal with less mobility. So that's a little bit worrisome. But either way, as well as they know each other, as much as they've trained together since fighting the first time, I don't think it'll be enough for Fugino. Even
she's still so good though.
Yeah.
It's tough to go against her, but then
It's not a knock on Emmy. It's
at,
just that's how good Ayaka is, right?
No, yeah, you look at who her opponent is, it's like, all right, well, she's gonna lose this one.
Yeah, exactly. But I am very happy though that Emmy is getting this platform and this opportunity. Huge fight for her, and wouldn't be the worst send off. This is perfect for kind of because she is 40 now, as you can see right there. I mean, I do not want to see Hamasaki retire until she just physically can't fight anymore. But ideally, this would be a perfect story for them both to retire, Steve. If you think about it, like the great careers that they've had, both go out as champions, best friends in a rematch. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Fugino does say goodbye here because of, I mean, she says she still wants to, make it to America and that kind of thing. At least that's what she told me. But I mean, to see how her knees feeling and all that. But
she's 40, man.
I know. I don't think it'll happen at this point. But for her to finally get to a big stage like this and a great spotlight, it really looks like a good send off. But again, she does. From the vibe I got from her when speaking to her was that she's not really thinking about it too much. But that could, of course, change. But that could also be a knee-jerk reaction in there. We'll see how it goes. Either way, Hamasaki's just too talented everywhere. And again, as I said, she's improved so insanely much since their first fight. And she already beat her back then. And Fugino, of course, has gotten better since then too, but not to the same extent that Hamasaki has. So for me, Steve, I think this fight will start off a little bit tentative because they do know each other so well, did fight before, and just, very friendly again. But once things pick up, probably see Fugino try and take it down, and then Hamasaki will work her brilliance. Similar maybe to the Miyu fight. She'll latch up something in a scramble, and I could see it in the first round. I really could, but I'm really excited for it. It's got a lot of intriguing elements, of course, as everybody knows, but Hamasaki's just too fucking good. That's essentially all that needs to be said. Like, we really don't need to talk about it this much, but it's such a great story and all the sides to it. But Hamasaki's too fucking good. She's going to get a submission, I think. And I'm going to say I'm going to go first round just for that sake. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe Fugino will be just insane at 108 pounds. Maybe she'll be even crazier. But that's a stretch, first time making the weight, all that. She looks jacked right now. If you've seen her, dude, been paying attention to her Instagram, she's looking phenomenal. A little bit Misha Tate like over there. Where's Joseph at? But I don't know. Hamasaki's just the cream of the crop. As I said, the GOAT. You guys know. So, Steve, official prediction.
Yeah, I mean, Hamasaki's gonna win. I don't know. Decision. It wouldn't be crazy if she finished the fight, but Fugino's really good still. So I think she'll be in the fight for the entirety of it. She'll be fine. It's just that Hamasaki's better.
Yep. That's pretty much just a fact. So Alvin says, I think Hamasaki takes this one, but I think Fugino will do well. Huh?
Yeah,
Wouldn't be.
I agree with Alvin.
Wouldn't be surprised by that. Go says, yep, very unique striker. What a gem to break down Hamasaki that is. And he says, in his research, I've never seen Fugino kick in her last 10 fights. Just something to keep in mind.
Kick? She doesn't kick?
Very interesting. Very interesting thing to point out. I haven't noticed that, but now that you mention it, she does like to, punch a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we know that she throws hands, but she doesn't kick. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like that's a great tool.
Yeah. Probably, I don't know if it'd be dangerous in this fight, but either way, we'll see now. We'll have to look for that to see if she kicks in this one. Now that Ghost pointed out, everybody pay attention to that.
Kicking the shit out of Hamasaki.
Watch her do the inside low kick, and just Ghost is like, oh.
How great would that be?
Thank you, Kamikaze Angel. Just turns a new leaf. Jimmy says, I think Hamasaki dominates this on the feet like the first round of Ham vs. Hamasaki. My God, Hamasaki in that first round was on fire. Could see it. Chuck says Fugino wears more tape to the ring than Sakura. Yeah, I mean, those are probably the two. Well, her and those two, and then what's his name? Kitaoka. I mean, geez, that guy wraps himself up like crazy. The turtle man, Steve. You know who I'm talking about. Sazakita says also Hamasaki's last few competition is way better. Yep, 100%. Kana and Ham are both top tier atomweights. Yeah, it's that's undeniable. And then of course Emmy has one of the best nicknames of all time, the Kamikaze Angel. That's brilliance right there. Love it. So, all right, you guys. So that is RIZIN 30. Gonna be a fantastic show. History, as I said in the making. Fantastic stories. Champ versus champ. All you could ask for. There's a tournament happening after these fights. It's going to be fun. I miss RIZIN. It's felt like a long time since RIZIN 29.
How long has it been? Like 5 months? 4 months?
No, not that long. Let's see. Let me look at the calendar. It was in July, I think. Where is right? Oh, it was June 27th. Wow. Yeah, because the Olympics, that's what they had to wait for.
So 3 months.
Yeah. Very crazy. So, whoops. Knocked the headphone out. Yep, you got that right, James. Fan of Punch breakdown time. And funny enough, Steve, we did just make our official predictions, but let's see now if Ghost can persuade us last second to take Emmy.
Since
unlikely.
Since there's no kicks, I mean, we're not going to see the kicks in the breakdown.
Let's see if any of our minds change here right now as we get.
There's no way. There's no way.
No kicks in the breakdown. Yeah, spoiler alert. No kicks there, but it's time for your final bit of hype for this rematch. Ghost, that's probably not. Zazakita, it's Emmy Fugino week. The cat has been out of the bag for a bit now. We're going to go into one of the sport's truest pioneers, an absolute building block for the women in MMA history. Emmy Fugino breakdown week, you guys. And I'm going to have to look at my other screen for this because last week, my goodness, the red was just not working on this monitor. It was not working with my eyes. So I'm going to scooch over real quick with the power of mobility in the studio. All right, let's get to it. Emmy Fugino MMA breakdown. Emmy Fugino has experience fighting with 2 top-tier strawweights and a flyweight contender from the UFC when they were just rising prospects. Guess who those were? Fugino had to deal with the blitzing attack of Yan Xiaonan. Jab to start the blitz. Right hook to end blitz. Oh, man. Karate style hook kick. I love Xiaonan. Incredible that she ate that. Fugino had to deal with the size and strength of Viviane Araujo. But I mean, God, that would have put most people out. Sweet chin music right there. Blast double based on strength.
Yes.
From Araujo. From Viviane. Fugino has experienced a variety of weapons thrown by Zhang Weili. Here come the elbows. Rear body kick first, though.
Oh.
Rear hand. Clang. Left hook to close door. And reactive elbow. I told you. Told you it was coming. Straight post to defend rear hook. Fighting these opponents has helped her gain confidence in the latter part of her career. Whenever you watch Fugino fight, she is always in proper boxing stance or readjusting to a proper boxing stance. She always has a solid base and a shoulder plane where her left shoulder is higher than the right. Because of the proper boxing stance, she is able to push off the back foot, close the distance, and land her jab. Bang, bang. Maintenance of the proper boxing stance allows her to fire a right hand when her opponent backs straight back. Fugino might not have the most dynamic arsenal of attacks, but by constantly being in a boxing stance and always pointed at her opponent, it becomes hard for the opponent to start their own offense. Fugino's stance makes it harder for her opponent to attack her head on, since her stance makes her ready to counter. And some slow-mo down the pipe. No kicks yet. Fugino understands how to cut the cage while maintaining her distance. Ooh, that was very nice. Fugino sees that her opponent is circling towards her lead hand. Fugino begins the process of cutting her off by pushing off the back foot, moving in a lateral direction. As soon as Fugino cuts her off and sets a new distance, she returns back to her boxing stance. Now the opponent has to engage since she has no room to keep circling.
Yeah.
Notice the square stance that the opponent tries to start her offense.
She's going to eat one hard.
Yeah. Fugino's stance allows her to see the looping right hook and counter with a jab and roll. Her stance also lets her put some power behind the jab since she's pushing off her back foot.
Yeah.
Fugino follows up with a right hand. Oh, yeah. However, there is no power or balance behind it since Fugino did not step her back foot and rotate all the way through. This causes her to slightly overextend since her head is just over her knee. Fugino decides to wisely clinch up because she knew she was overextended with her right hand.
That should have been a knockout had she went in there clean.
Yeah. Still very solid stuff.
No, yeah, I mean, it's great, but there was that potential for a knockout right there. But hey, at least at that point, she realized what she had done.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, after fighting Wei Li and Xiaonan, a little quick there, Fugino started to crowd her opponent's kicks. There you go. Fugino sees the switch step kick coming and closes the distance.
She set it up.
Oh, yeah. Give me that.
Yeah.
Fugino catches the kick with an overhook and begins to frame her left arm toward the opponent's face.
She was like, we don't kick here.
The frames in the overhook off the caught leg allows Fugino to break the base and posture of her opponent, allowing her to drive her opponent to the fence.
Straight drove her back.
Yep. Right in there.
That's fucking nice.
Another example of Fugino crowding a kick. Fugino eats the kick, but is able to mitigate the damage since she closed the distance on her opponent's pivot foot, the foot not kicking. Fugino underhooks her opponent's kicks and drives her in an arc down to the mat. Pushing the knee down breaks her opponent's posture, while pushing up on the underhook allows Fugino to secure her connection while they are going down. Fugino has also added elbows to her ground and pound. There you go. Little love taps. Maybe not so much love. Fugino's main finishing weapon on the ground is the rear naked choke. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it is.
Front headlock snap down allows Fugino to break her opponent's posture.
Yep.
Opponent is reaching to attack Fugino's leg while her posture and base is broken, which gives Fugino the opportunity to maneuver towards the back. Fugino has now connected her right arm behind her opponent and reestablished a solid base, which gives her the ability to get hooks in. This is the title win, too. Now the hand fight begins. The crowning achievement here. Great moment. Fugino uses a crossface to force her opponent to stop looking for wrist control. Now the opponent's hands are fighting the elbow and not the wrist. When someone has your back, you have to gain control of the hands and get your back to the mat. Fugino's crossface prevents her opponent from doing both. Getting nasty in there, huh, Steve?
Yeah. So good to see.
And night. Fugino gets a second hook in and gets her choking arm to her opposite bicep. Opponent is looking to get wrist control, but is too late.
And she almost dies.
Can't breathe.
Yeah, she's like, oh, okay.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm. Fugino now tries to fall to the choke side to make the choke deeper. Oof. Pain. Game over. Opponent tried to slide under, but that made the choke deeper. Oh, God. And that's how you win a title.
Yeah.
Fugino closes the distance off the kick and used a knee tap to take her opponent down with rotation. Quickly into the second round of that Denisova fight. Fugino has a good base and can easily pass the non-existent guard. It just doesn't exist. Fugino passes seamlessly into mount.
That was pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. And Troubleville. The reason Fugino is able to effectively strike from mount is because she is wedging her base into her opponent while maintaining proper posture.
She's going to wreck her.
Fugino's opponent incorrectly turns to her side while Fugino has good mount control.
That was dumb.
Not the greatest idea.
No. Terrible.
Fugino's opponent incorrectly turns to her side while Fugino has good mount control. Fugino takes the back and immediately sinks in the rear naked choke. Oh, no.
You know that Fugino is really good at rear naked chokes, right? Like, why would you roll over so that she can get your neck easier?
Let's just get this over with. No more punches, please.
Shit, I'd rather take the punches than Fugino.
When you flatten someone out with your leg hooks, it becomes easy to finish the choke.
Over, dude. She's done. She's literally planking.
Oh, man. He's trying.
They can only try it so long. Yeah, she's done.
All right. 2 questions we must consider before Hamasaki versus Fugino 2. Question 1. Can Emmy Fugino counter Ayaka Hamasaki's striking? Consider Hamasaki likes to use the head and shoulder feint to draw out counters. And question 2, is Fugino going to go to the ground with Hamasaki?
Oh, man.
Oh, my. Let's bring it on.
Who wants to go to the ground with Hamasaki, man?
Yeah. But, Steve, to start with question 2, and I guess we kind of already addressed it, but
yeah.
I think she willing, I think is a little bit different phrasing than will she go there? Should she? I mean, Is she willing to? I think, of course, she's very confident in her abilities. And again, having been there, she likes to test herself, all that kind of thing. So willing to go there, I'm sure. And I believe it will end up there. That's pretty much how I predicted the fight will go, that she will take her down and get caught. So, yeah, I expect that to happen. Do you agree with that, Steve? I think that's
no, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think it would be kind of a nightmare for her to go to the ground though with Hamasaki.
I mean, she's probably got a better chance than on the feet, though, is the thing. Like, which
it's pretty crazy. Like,
yeah,
but yeah, she probably has. No, I don't know the way that she counters and she sets up, phenomenal. Obviously, we saw in the clips. Hamasaki's so much better though. Like there's Fugino's really good, obviously, but Hamasaki's like great.
Yep, completely agree. And Emmy takes a lot to give some too, as you could tell.
I don't know if she's gonna be able to take that from Hamasaki. I did pick it to go to decision, but
especially with the weight cut too. Look at what happened to Dillashaw. People when they drain themselves might not be as durable.
Yeah.
But then as for question 1, he says, can Emmy Fugino counter Hamasaki striking, considering Hamasaki likes to use head and shoulder feint to draw out counters? I mean,
but
yeah,
it's possible. Smart, man.
I mean, I think that depending on how long the fight lasts, she'll definitely get some in there, get some effective offense and counters in there, but still not going to be enough. But phenomenal stuff once again, Ghost. I hope for all of you guys, which I do see the comments rolling in here, hope that made up for last week, as you were all so picky and hating on Liam Mccord. But Emmy Fugino, excellent stuff for sure. So let's check it out. What does everyone got to say? Where are we? Alvin says, I like that the Phantom Punch is the last one, so I can watch it live. All right. Should we make this a regular closer, Steve? I mean, Alvin likes it. Apparently he doesn't show up early.
I'm fine with making this the close.
Yeah, not too terrible. Jimmy says, this is exciting. Rue, these are always good. This is at the start, of course. Zazakita, damn, she ate that kick. Yes, she did. Very tough is Emmy Fugino. James says, LOL, the first part is of Fugino getting beat up. Yes, a little bit of a low light, but it shows you how fucking tough she is. Because, my God, she has fought some monsters. Damn, she ate elbows and that hook kick back-to-back when she fought Yan and Zhang. Yes, she did, Rue.
Yeah.
Jimmy says, there is a certain theme whenever Ghost talks about striking, distance and balance. It's a big part of things. Rain says, Ghost is back on track. There you go. That answers the question I've proposed. Jen says, man, love these. This might be the only pod that breaks down women in MMA. What can we say? What can we fucking say? That's why you keep on coming back. But James says, she might not throw kicks, but she catches them. There you go. It's a part of the strategy.
And
right?
it's kind of good offense for her.
Yeah, it definitely turns into it. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see if
Hamasaki kicks.
I'm sure that will have picked up on that. I'm sure that's, again, having trained together as much as they have, I'm sure that they kind of have pointed these things out to each other. So it's going to be, I think, for that first half of the round, as I'm predicting it'll end in the first round still, I think it'll be a bit of a chess match. Jimmy says, wow, that's cool. Fugino added elbows after fighting Wei Li. Much respect to her, but still picking Hamasaki. Yeah, didn't quite change my mind there, but I love to see it. There was a Phantom Punch breakdown where Hamasaki defended a deep triangle. I don't think Hamasaki can catch. I don't think Fugino can catch Hamasaki. Right. Yeah. She is just too smart. Ghost Phantom says, yep, against Ham. Rain says, there is no way Hamasaki is going to let Fugino mount. I don't know if I've ever seen Hamasaki get mounted. I don't remember if Claudia got on her, but...
Yeah, I think Adelia did.
in the mount. I mean, I know she got on top. I don't remember if she got mount though.
Was it
I'd have
mount?
to go back and watch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, not easy to get Ayaka in that position.
Gadela was on top of Hamasaki though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was mount.
Yeah, for sure. Ghost says, Counter-striking a person who faints is a nightmare. Rain says, I feel Hamasaki still beats Fugino. There you go. Jimmy says, Hamasaki striking has different looks and feints to draw at the counters.
Yeah.
Ghost agrees. Just too much overload of the counter striker when you feint at them. Cincho, always good stuff from Ghost. Absolutely. Stamina says, for fuck's sake, the Moreno Figueiredo trilogy is a go. All right, throwing the news at us. That is
in December. When is it?
All right. How about that? Interesting. Very interesting. Ghost says, I saw Fugino check one kick against Whaley. Then she fell over, so checking inside low kicks is a no-go.
December 11th.
Oh, it's on that one. Yeah. Wow, they're going against Pantoja and Askarov. Wow. I don't know about that.
It's too fast, man. Move on.
Yeah.
Move on from it.
Davison didn't even win a round.
Didn't do shit. Moreno. Okay.
Yep. All the goofy boundary matches. Yeah. But anyway, closing out on a good note. Fan of Punch Breakdown. RIZIN 30. Beautiful stuff. As always, I actually got somewhere to be, so this is perfect timing. My goodness. Don't forget, you guys. Follow us, like, share, and subscribe. As I said off the top, at Drake Riggs _, at Steve K _MA, at The Scrap News. Bringing you all you could ever ask for. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. Oh, my goodness. What a show it's been. Great to have Steve back. Great to have you guys back with us. I imagine, Steve, you got nothing coming out right now as you're dealing with your issues. As for me, let's see, what do we got? I spoke to Martin Hamlet this morning. He's in the PFL light heavyweight grand finale against Antonio Carlos Jr. So look forward to that coming out sometime before next week. And then I also spoke to Ritu Fogat last night.
Ritu, nice.
Good chat with Ritu. She was very fun. That'll be coming
Great
out.
wrestler.
Indeed. That'll be coming out for SCMP before next week as well. Still got to edit that one up. But yes, got those two interviews in the books before we're off to Vegas next week. International Fight Week, Steve. Are you going to be there? I know you wanted to go.
I have.
Got tickets?
Everything's like, yeah. I mean,
all right.
I don't know.
Maybe next week we can do the show in Vegas, you guys.
Oh, man.
We'll see.
Next week? No, it wouldn't be next week. It would be.
It's next week.
Yeah, but we're not going to be in Vegas on Monday.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we'd have to do it a different day. We'll see. We'll talk. We'll see. But yes, the idea, Jimmy, is back to Mondays. We'll put it on hold. If it's not Monday, it'll be a special in-person episode. So let that be known. All right.
Always want to do that.
Yep. It's perfect for the big 100, but we can always do it twice. We'll see. Rue says he thinks Ghost is maybe Lawrence Kenshin. Don't know who that is, but all right. Either way, that's all I got coming, you guys. Look forward to that coverage next week, the interviews, all that stuff. I got to get out of here. So, Steve, send us on home.
Thank you to everybody who shows up every week. And if you don't, fuck you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody who isn't in the chat, but especially thank you to everybody who is in the chat on a weekly basis. Without you, there is no Drake and I. You guys make this show a hell of a lot funner than what it already was. So Jimmy, Joseph, Rue, Jin, Stamina, Ghost Phantom, Alvin, Alex, Chuck was here.
Mr. Lee. Joseph.
Is it Joseph? No.
Okay. I never really listened to the names, honestly.
Okay. If I didn't say Rain, if I didn't say thank you, appreciate you guys. Until next week, stay safe, stay sane, stay well. Peace.